Now, some people might suggest with this latest royal story that's doing the rounds, it's simply a case of where there's a will, there's a way. As ever, let me explain. Hi, nice to see you on this wonderful evening here in the very heart of London town. Most of the Christmas lights are now down. It's that period I always find, I don't know about you, where it just becomes a little bit more depressing winter, because at least we had all those sparkling lights, even though they didn't say Merry Christmas across London. You know, it brightened things up a bit, didn't it? And now, of course, the news, I don't know if you bother with that, but the news is full of doom and gloom about who didn't spend what over Christmas. Well, I don't know about you. Who's got what to spend? That's the problem, isn't it? You know, I love these things. They get all these campaigns with these celebrities in and then say, oh, it didn't work. You think, really? I wonder why. Now, let's get back, of course, to your royal story of the day. You may have seen this particular headline, which is rather alarming, as one can imagine, given the fact that His Majesty the King is still going through his own cancer treatment throughout 2025. Now, what I find fascinating about this is the insensitivity of people, because this is basically detailing exactly what could happen with His Majesty the King's will. And basically the sort of slant of this article and other articles is all about the fact that, well, people are urging His Majesty to remove Prince Harry from his final will. Of course, final will and testaments within the royal family are very much kept under lock and key, and for rightly reasons so. Nobody truly knows exactly, for instance, what Queen Elizabeth did in her will. And I think it must be fabulous that you can keep that away. If you're a celebrity, have you noticed within minutes they suddenly point out exactly how much you left and who you left it to? No privacy even in death. But moving forward, let me just tell you exactly what we know about this. Simply this fact: there is no truth in this story at all. It's pure speculation, because nobody really will know, sadly, even after the demise of His Majesty the King. This is simply because it's not shared. So what's the reason for this story? Well, quite simply, this story is really sensationalism. But more importantly, every so often, particularly, of course, long-standing members of the British monarchy, like every single one of us, have to update their final will and testament. But what people are speculating about this recent revelation is the fact that naturally His Majesty the King would want to wipe out his youngest son. Now, as I say, that's pure speculation. No concrete background to that at all. And it's a little bit like when royals sadly pass away, and suddenly you hear these stories about exactly how much money, for instance, the late Princess Diana left, or indeed the Queen Mother. None of these amounts are actually true. These are just pure tabloid speculation. So for all of those concerned about exactly why His Majesty the King is doing this, well, it's like you and me. Every so often we have to update something. And of course, every so often, the tabloid media sees this as an opportunity to try and scare people. Imagine that, going through what His Majesty the King is continuing to go through with his full cancer treatment. Not very nice, is it? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.